Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting edition of your number one talk show, City Talks, with Reuben Abati, on your number one lifestyle station, City 1051 FM. On this show, we discuss stories of political and human interests that affect us as Nigerian citizens and as members of a global human community. Today we'll be discussing the topic, the Lagos Red Line Rail. And it's a great pleasure to introduce our guest for today's discussion. He is the Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State. His name is Seun Oshiyemi. Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, popularly known as Shempi, is a remarkable individual driven by a powerful vision and a deep sense of compassion for the betterment of his community. As a technocrat and philanthropist, he has become a beacon of hope, illuminating the path for those seeking a brighter future. Oluwaseun Oshiyemi commenced his educational journey at Maharufudin Primary School in Pedro, Bariga, Lagos State. He pursued his secondary education at Mulusi College, Ijebu, where he got the West African School Certificate. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in Botany from the University of Lagos, UNILAG, a Master of Business Administration, MBA, from Ogun State University, Nigeria. He's a chartered MBA from Bangor University, Wales, United Kingdom. He's a chartered banker and is a senior executive program graduate of the Lagos Business School and an advanced management program AMP graduate of the Columbia Business School, New York, USA. We're here today to discuss with Mr. Oshiyemi the Lagos Red Line. To discuss the Lagos Red Line with the Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday officially commissioned the Lagos Mass Rail Transit Red Line Train Project. The project, which is in its first phase, runs from Agbado in Ogun State to the Ingbo of Lagos State. The 37 kilometers rail line has 8 stations, namely Agbado, Iju, Agege, Ikeja, Oshodi, Mushin, Yaba, and Oyingbo, from Ogun State to Lagos. President Tinubu, in his address, urged the Minister of Transportation, Said Al-Kari, who was present at the event, to collaborate with other ministries at the subnational level in order to achieve all-round development across the country. It was a major milestone for President Tinubu himself, for Governor Sanwo-Olu, and also for the people of Lagos State, considering the fact that transportation is the main item in the theme's agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. God has chosen Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to be the man who will complete the dream on the mass transit project in Lagos State. But we have the Commissioner for Transportation, who is going to tell us, introduce us to the subject, give us ideas about what has been done and what lies ahead. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen listening to this program on Zoom, Facebook, and other platforms, listen to us terrestrially. If you want to be part of this conversation, you can call us on 0700 1051 1051. You can also leave comments on our WhatsApp number 090 991 4403 and on our social media accounts at City 1051 on Zoom, Instagram, and Facebook. The last time I interfaced with you from the studio, I said we had issues with the internet. But yeah, the internet problem has been corrected, and we're in a better place today. So those saying, oh, this program, it looks like we'll get it today, we will not get it next weekend. No, they are wrong. I tell you clearly that you are wrong. And I would like to welcome you to the program. Honorable Commissioner Oshiemi, thank you very much for joining us. Hello? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me? I can see you on the screen here from the studio, but can you hear me? I'd like you to greet our listeners, our viewers. Hello? Are you there?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Reuben.
Very good. Afternoon. Very good. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the subject of discussion today is the Lagos Red Line, which is very important to the people of Lagos. Can you just take us through, what this Lagos Red Line is all about and its significance for the people of Lagos? President Tinubu having said that this is a people-centered project, that it is about the people. Sir, can you just take us through that? Let's start with that before we begin to ask for the details.
Good afternoon once again. Reuben, I missed your question because there's a bit of distortion with the internet. If you can please repeat that, I would appreciate.
No, very simple question. Just talk to the people of Lagos State about the significance of the Lagos Red Line. We heard about the blue line. Now we have the red line.
Oh, okay.
And then President Tinubu, inaugurating the red line, talked about the fulfillment of a dream, the fulfillment of a people-centered strategy. Can you tell us about just basically the significance of the red line?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Reuben, once again. Well, for me, I'll call the red line the game changer. And why would I call the red line the game changer? I'll call the red line the game changer because of so many reasons. This is a line that, of course, has more capacity than the blue line. In terms of reach, you mentioned all of the stations and all of the places that the red line would get to. It has far more reach than the blue line. It's a 37-kilometer train that, of course, as well when it comes to connectivity in Lagos, because of the various places that the red line will touch, it connects Lagos very well and efficiently. I would like to also share some journey that might have taken about, say, 2 hours, 30 minutes journey time would be reduced to about 35, 40 minutes, which I think is an amazing thing for Lagosians. So the red line has brought a new dynamics to our transport system. Not only would it decongest the road because of the capacity of the people we'll be carrying. That train has about 10 cabins, and an average of 45 people to 50 can be in one cabin. So we're talking about 500 people at full capacity per trip. And we're looking at, when you start a new process, people tend to grow into it. So at full capacity, we expect that we'll be moving about 500,000 people per day. And then over time, we ramp up to about 1 million people per day. Like you also mentioned, there are 6 lines in the STMP, And the red line, the blue line, we all know is already running. That's been running for about a year now. The blue line is running from Marina to Mile 2 as we speak. That's phase 1. That's it. From Mile 2 to Kokomaiko, take about another 14 kilometers. Back to the red line, which is about 13 kilometers, presently runs from Oyingbo to Agbado. And the second phase of the red line would be a 10-kilometer journey to move from Oyingbo National Theatre. The whole essence of the second phase of the red line is to be able to connect the red
part of it. We're told that this is being done in collaboration with the Nigerian Railway Corporation. In other words, the track is owned by the NRC. And then also, this project, Red Line, is going to run from Ogun State to Lagos State, from Agbado. Agbado is in Ogun State. Can you tell us, what this co-share project, this collaboration is all about, the extent, the involvement, and how, Lagos State has been able to work it out, particularly in terms of sustainability. If tomorrow the governor of Ogun State is no longer an APC person, how are we going to sustain the project? If tomorrow at the federal level the president is no longer APC, do we have things to fear, about in Lagos State? Are there guarantees?
Thank you very much, Mr. Reuben. Firstly, I'd like to address the issue of the shared track that the red line currently share with NRC. Unlike the blue line, that has a dedicated line that we know, the red line shares track with NRC, and NRC has been very magnanimous in supporting and allowing us to share those tracks. So there's been a lot of conversation and agreement on operation time, and we're still doing a bit of test run after this commissioning. But the whole idea is, since there's an existing line, rather than spend money or waste money unnecessarily by building another track, we have decided to collaborate and work with NRC, and they've been so nice and so supportive in ensuring that we use those tracks. Like you also mentioned, this red line stops in Agbado. Agbado obviously is in Ogun State. It's interesting to note that our only neighbor, like the governor said in his speech, apart from water, is Ogun State. And we have a very, very cordial and good relationship with Ogun State. There's a lot of collaboration that's going on between the two states outside that of the rail. And presently, there's also a conversation that has been initiated for Ogun State to pick up the rail from Agbado into Ogun State. That conversation has been initiated by Mr. Governor and the Governor of Ogun State. And over time, when we discuss this, and we'll see a lot of implementation going around that. You did mention something about it being a party because the two governors are from the same party. That does not come to play in this case, because we're talking about a sustainable project. We outlive, it's not a party thing, but it's on a... Hello?
No, I missed what you said. Hello? For a moment. I can hear you now. Please go ahead. Okay.
I said this is a project that is for the people, and is a sustainable one that is going to be concession, and there are agreements that outlive whichever government that comes, and these are agreements that are binding. So beyond that, like I said, there are conversations ongoing between the two states. Mr. Governor jokingly also mentioned at the launching that we are going to issue Ogun State a paycheck for them to continue from Agbado. But be that as it may, conversations are ongoing on that, and then I'm sure Ogun State will take it into their state as well. All of this is just about ensuring that we can service our people both in both states. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Oshiemi, I like the collaboration between Lagos State and Ogun State. But this talk about giving Ogun State a paycheck, okay, we'll look into that, but don't let me go into that direction. But let me ask you, talk about the collaboration between Lagos State and the Nigerian Railway Corporation, because what we know is that it's a co-shared track. Now, how does that work out? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hello? Mr. Oshiemi, are you with me?
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you. Okay. So our regulator for our regular matter are in discussions with Nigerian Railway Corporation. Co-sharing the NLC uses that road track for the Lagos-Ibadan train. So there are time slots that are being apportioned to both parties. So we know, so that there won't be any conflict or whatsoever. We know when the Lagos Ibadan train will go, and then we'll have our own apportion time for when our own trains, our time slots for when our own trains will run. Because it's an intracity train, would have more than one trip, like the Lagos Ibadan, that would have fewer trips than we do. We would probably have, as a ramp up time, we'll probably have about 5, the trains moving in 10, 15 minutes. So all of these things are the things that we've been agreeing on and has been concluded. But of course, that would also be put to test, because what typically happens after commissioning is that we have about 1-2 months of doing a pilot run to put to test all of what has been agreed and to ensure that they work efficiently before we start putting commuters on the train.
Yeah, Honorable Commissioner, can you give us an idea of how much this project has cost the people of Lagos State? How much has it cost us as people living in Lagos State, paying tax in Lagos State? So how much have we spent? Hello, are you with me? Hello, Honorable Commissioner. Hello? Hello? I'm asking you, how much has it cost us to have this project online? Hello? Hello? Looks like we lost connection there. What's the problem? But I think it's important for the people of Lagos State to know how much they have spent to have the Lagos Red Line, and also in addition to the Lagos Blue Line. And Commissioner of Transportation, Seun Oluwaseun Oshiemi, being our guest, she'll have been able to tell us, well, this is how much the Lagos State government has spent on behalf of the people of Lagos State. Well, it looks like the basic problem that we have had is just internet connection, since this interview is being connected via internet connection. We are hoping, if you are with us, that we'll be able to link up and restore the internet connection, so that Commissioner Oshiemi can tell us, this is how much of your money as the people of Lagos that has been spent. Okay, it looks like we are making some progress. What happened? I thought I heard his voice, because obviously he's listening to me from the studio, and he wants to offer a clarification in that regard. Commissioner Oshiemi, if you are listening to me, This is what I'm just talking about. The people of Lagos, they just want to know how much, have we spent, particularly on the blue line, the red line, and what should be their expectations. And I will also love to ask you questions about the green line, the purple line that Governor Sanwo-Olu talked about while the president was inaugurating the red line. Well, can you hear me now? Are you with me, Commissioner Shiu or Shiemi? Are you there? I'm looking at the screen in the studio here, and I'm hoping that you are with me. But if you are not yet here with me, maybe we should take the option of asking people who have been part of this program to make comments. Yeah, this is the thing. We have technical issues all the time in the studio. But it's okay. Hello, Commissioner Oshiemi. Are you with me? Huh?
Now I can unmute. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, okay, I was going to ask you about, okay, all of this, red line, blue line, how much is it costing the people of Lagos State? Can we add data, figures to what we're discussing?
Well, unfortunately, I might not be able to share the numbers with you now because I don't have it readily. But of course, we know infrastructure that is always in billions, and I don't have the exact numbers with me now, so I might not be able to share those numbers with you. But for me, I think the focus would be more of the value proposition and the value added to our people. But like I said, I don't have those numbers readily now.
Okay, the blue rail line, we're told is electric powered, but this other one, which is in collaboration with the NRC, Nigeria Railway Corporation, will be diesel powered. So is this on diesel powered because of realization of critical problems with the blue line? So is it a question of lessons learned, other options taken? Please, could you explain that to us?
Okay, thank you. Interestingly, it has nothing to do with issues with blue line. Like I mentioned earlier, the blue line is a dedicated track, and we can afford to make it whatever form of power we want to use to use on that track. Because it's a dedicated track, of course, we can use electricity, and we're thinking of we're moving to 21st century, and then we need to start doing things that way. But for the red line, that is a shared track. Like I said to you, the NRC still uses that track for the Lagos-Ibadan train. So there's no way you can turn that to. We have to work with what they have on ground. That's why it's diesel power.
Okay. So, to the basic questions that will interest ordinary Nigerians, how much will it cost, for example, to come from Agbado in Ogun State to say Oyingbo? Governor Tinubu, I said Governor Tinubu, Governor Sanwo-Olu having announced a 25% rebate on transportation. So how much will it cost, and how does the ticketing process, how does it work?
Thank you, Mr. Reuben. Once again, for the cost of the fare from Agbado to Oyingbo, I will not be able to readily give you that, because that would only know that by the time we ascertain the cost of operations, which we would ascertain in another 1-2 months of the pilot run. What you typically do is you have to put all your costs into a basket and then know exactly what it is that you will make as a ticket fare. That's not saying that at that point you can now decide that, oh yes, we need to subsidize this to make this cost affordable to people, because the whole idea is to make the train affordable for our people and to reduce journey time and decongest the road. So, like you also know, Mr. Governor at some point had given a rebate of 50% on all transportation modes. And as we speak now, we're on 20, which was taken off in December. But as part of the subsidies, one of the subsidies that Mr. Governor just announced, we have 25% across all transportation modes. And you did ask that, how does this work? So we have a very robust and fantastic payment platform called the Cowrie Card. So I can tell you that we have about 4.2 million Lagosians carrying our cards. That card affords you to be able to go on our train, our buses, on our ferries because of our multimodal transportation system. So typically, when we apply subsidy, all we need to do is just to adjust the payment on our platforms, and it will reflect immediately in the payment in which our customers or our commuters do use. So effecting those changes is easy because of technology, and the payment system that we use is the Cowrie system.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, we're going to make this line open in a matter of minutes, but before then, I would like you, before other people listening to us at home, joining us across social media platforms, begin to make comments, to respond to the question of safety and security. We have had stories of people attacking passengers inside trains. We have had stories of people selling commodities on rail lines, particularly in Lagos State. I know that Governor Sanwo-Olu has said no, this there must be a task force addressing that and all of that. But people will not listen. They are selling tomato on rail tracks. And we have had issues elsewhere of people attacking passengers. What are the plans by Lamata and your office to make sure that people who travel on this red line, will be safe?
Thank you once again, Mr. Abati. For us to get the level of patronage and to be able to achieve the decongestion that we're trying to achieve, we must create something called confidence in our commuters. And this confidence would, I'm sure, come from them knowing that those trains are safe, like you already said. So in the area of safety, Lamata is very strong. They have strong ethics on safety, and we've put a lot of safety plans in place. All those trains would have CCTV. All our trains have CCTV. We also have security men in each cabins that, of course, check things and do all of whatnot. And then there's a strong advocacy that clearly says that there is no trading or hawking on the train or even the rail tracks. We have, and Red Line is very peculiar. For all our stations, they are built in a way such as whereby we have different malls, supermarkets where you can pick something to eat before you jump on the train. So if you buy your food, you're advised to just keep your food until you finish your journey before you can eat your food. So we're not going to encourage eating or anything on the train. And we're also, like I said, there's CCTV cameras on those trains. There are security personnel on those trains. And constantly we've been doing advocacy. Even before the commissioning, we've gone round to get people off our tracks. Honestly, at this point, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to talk to our people. It takes two to make this thing work. Government can do all of what they're doing. We'll also, at this point, call to our people to please not trade or do anything on those tracks. We're constantly moving them out. We're constantly taking them away from those places, but we also need their support in that space. So all of what you've seen on social media, people trading and walking on those roads, on the road tracks, if you go back to those road tracks, you'll see that the story has changed. The narratives have completely changed. And we are going to sustain that until it becomes a culture and it becomes a part and parcel of our people, that the road track is not meant for trading, walking, or sleeping. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, before we open up the lines, let me ask you. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu talked about green line, purple line, and there are people who have been saying, okay, all this green line, purple line, red line, blue line, they are also part of Lagos State. Why is it that they are excluded? Particularly, one boy the other day was asking me, he lives in Ikorodu, that he hopes that Governor Sanwo-Olu knows that people in Ikorodu will also like to use rail line. What do you say to such people?
Thank you. Maybe the first thing I need to do is to share the 6 lines that we have so that we understand where those lines will go first, and then speak to your question as regards people in Ikorodu. Firstly, we know the blue line. The first phase of 13 kilometers moves from Marina to Mile 2. The second phase of blue line is a 14 kilometer that will move from Mile 2 to Kumaiko, which will start in another couple of months. Red line that is presently running is a 37 kilometer from Igbo to Agbado, and the second phase that would affect that connectivity that I mentioned earlier is a 10 kilometer that will move from Igbo to National Theatre. Now, there's the orange line, which is a 48 kilometer line, and it moves from Ikeja to Ikorodu, which speaks to the Ikorodu part that you spoke about. We also have the green line, which is a 74.1 kilometers that moves from Marina to Lekki Free Trade Zone. And then, of course, the purple line, 54.3 kilometers. It moves from Ojo, last 2 area, all the way to Mowe, Iridin. So everybody has been taken into consideration. But you know, because of funding, we have to do these things in phases. It's a project that's been started even before Governor Sanwo-Olu is being birthed. But now we are putting and implementing this, and we're sure that we should be able to, as we speak, the red line phase 2 was signed off on the day of commissioning, and the phase 2 of the blue line also will commence, as well as the green line. So there are a lot of things and there are a lot of plans trying to ensure that we get this done before the end of this dispensation. But of course, whatever we can take, we'll take until, but those lines are there and they'll be completed.
Okay, Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State, I take it from you. You said whatever we can take, we can take. Yeah, transportation is the number 1 item on Governor Sanwo-Olu's agenda. And he says, look, he will do this, railway, ferry services, but the big elephant in the room is the 4th mainland bridge. We can take what you can take. Are you telling us that 4th mainland bridge will not be ready before Governor Sanwo-Olu leaves office?
Dr. Reuben, saying I can take what we can take, maybe I should correct that. It means we have, I just mentioned to you, we've started the second phase of the blue line, the red line has been signed, and the green line also will take effect. Pardon my word, if that's the way you take it. But for the 4th mainland bridge, I would like to bring you to notify you that the groundbreaking for the 4th mainland will start in April. That has also in concession, and the breaking ground will start in April. The first phase of it will get through the water. And all of this and the concessionary has been signed and agreed. I'm breaking it down starting April. So I can tell you for free that the Fort Mainland Bridge will be completed.
Well, Commissioner, I mean, you and I will have some time. Let's see what other people think. So we take this short break, and then other persons who are listening to us via radio and other platforms will call in and ask the Honorable Commissioner a number of questions. And he will stay with us, I believe, and he will respond to some of your concerns. We take this break now. Please stay with us.
Everybody, it's your girl Success, and you're welcome to your favorite show.
Blunders like this happen due to inadequate training.
Hey, Winnie, what would you like to practice after graduation?
I would like to be a terrorist.
Just kidding. I want to be a radio and TV broadcaster.
So, what efforts are you making to achieve this? This year, no grief for anybody. Get hands-on training from the permanent and experienced names in the media space. Only at the City Media Academy. Polish your diction. Learn the art of newscasting, radio presentation, content creation, voice acting, digital marketing, and more. The new session starts March 4, 2024. For more inquiries, visit Plot 11, Latif Jakande Road, Agidinde, Ikeja, Lagos. Call 0810-968-8638 or visit www.city1051fm.com and click on the CMA page. The City Media Academy. Explore the world of broadcast media.
Welcome back from that commercial break. And for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome to City Talks with Reuben Abati on your number one lifestyle station, City 1051 FM. And the topic that we've been discussing today is the Lagos Red Line Rail. And I have with me the Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State, Sheun Oshiemi. Remember, if you want to be part of this conversation, you can call us on 07001051 and on WhatsApp 09099164403 and on our social media accounts at City 1051 on Zoom, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for staying with us. I see that the dashboard is already blinking. Let's take this caller.
Mr. Reuben, good afternoon to Dr. Reuben. Dr. Reuben.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. My name is Prince Wire, calling you from Amuad office. I think you have get this afternoon, Commissioner for Transport.
Yes, he's hearing you, Prince Wires.
Thank you, sir. Now, my question to the Commissioner is this. The red light is on. We really appreciate the government. For the price, can they give the price down a little bit as it is? Maybe you are going to talk to the management of Namasa. And secondly, the rain where you are going from that to you go down to, in fact, to the, that's a lot of people on the road. What are they going to do on the rail line? What are they going to do about it? And finally, all inner roads in Lagos, what are they going to do about it? That's my question. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Prince Wires. Honorable Commissioner, I'm sure you had him. But the question
Not so clearly, yeah.
Yeah, but the one that I had clearly is the question about what is the Lagos State government doing about inner routes in Lagos. I heard that. And he said the red line is very wrong and all of that. Maybe you reflect on that as we take this other caller. Please, can you be brief and you just identify yourself? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Dr. Reuben, you sound so tired. Josie.
I'm not tired.
Anyway.
Don't worry. I saw your text message. where you were attacking me.
I knew when you were playing your guys down, well appreciated. Anyway, I was thinking of the other topic. I'm not impressed with the commissioner's response at all. I mean, the estimate of the drill, you can't tell us that. How much does it cost to buy a ticket? You can't tell us that. Apparently, maybe it's not even prepared for this program. And I'm not impressed at all. But I'll still ask, what are they putting in place as laws so that it becomes almost impossible for succeeding governor or government to undo it? I will always go back to what Ronnie said, that during his time when he was about to leave office, that they put in some mechanism that even if the devil should come and rule Ghana, it will be very impossible for him to undo some laws. My fear is that someday another party may just take over, as you said in your opening salvo. Maybe PDP takes over because it's not impossible, it's a democracy, or at the center. What will make it impossible for them to undo this great project? Because already I believe that Lagos on its way to being a truly mega city. The other year they mounted and they want to be among the best 20 in the world, best 10. I tell these people don't know anything because if your transport is not fixed, they are not really being serious. But with this red line, green line, blue line, and the like, it shows that Lagos is heading somewhere. But what are they putting in place to ensure that it is so enshrined that it becomes impossible for any succeeding government to undo it? That's my question, if you can answer me.
Okay, I'm sure, Commissioner Oshiemi, I'm sure you had Dr. Moses, who is a veteran of this program, and he's a very committed citizen, always monitoring everything. But I'm sure you heard him. Hello, Commissioner.
Hello, sir.
Hello. You had him.
Hello, sir.
I say I hope you
Yes,
had Dr. Moses very well.
Yes, I did. I did.
You did. Okay. Let's take one other intervention, and that will be Dr. Boniface Chizia, who is on Zoom. Dr. Boniface Chizia, please. Hello, Dr. Chizia. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, sir.
Reuben, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Well, Reuben, just to make an observation, to say that I think this is a wonderful development. But, listening to the commissioner talk, there are still some issues about, ownership, sustainability, reliability, and so on and so forth. Management, particularly. If you talk of ownership, is this owned exclusively by Lagos State, or is it joint ownership? And I also want to look at things like, how is it going to be managed? So management is important. Reliability, how is it going to run? Most places you have rail lines. What makes them impactful is that the timing is like succinct, so at this point in time, the plane is going to be at the station and so on and so forth. That might be a bit beyond us, but I think that's sort of things we have to aim for. Things like, pilferage, how do we make sure that to a large extent we minimize human intervention so that see what's happening between the railway line between Lagos and Ibadan. If you pay some bribe, you get a seat. If you don't pay, you don't get a seat. And money that is meant to go for the project that should go into the kitty is going elsewhere, and so on and so forth. So those are challenges. I think that is a wonderful development. I think it will impact on productivity in Lagos. I think that one of the problems we have in Lagos is the traffic. Traffic congestion is terrible. Issues like security. What is being done about that? We see what happened, rail line between Abuja and Kaduna. The bandits took over the thing, and so on and so forth. So lots of issues. But I think that's a welcome development. But I think that we will still have a lot to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Boniface Chizia. Honorable Commissioner, questions about ticketing,
all right,
safety, security, sustainability, despite the fact that at least someone says this is a welcome development. How do you respond to all these issues, that have been raised?
All right, thank you very much. One thing I would like to clarify first is that the ownership is fully Lagos. The only thing we share with Nigerian the Nigerian Railway Corporation is the road track for the red line, and of course I explained why that is so. For the management of these trains or this rail, we have a very competent team and an agency under the Ministry of Transportation called Lamata, ably led by Mrs. Limbo Akajo, who is vastly experienced in this space. They have run the Blue Line for over a year, and she has over 20 years of experience in this space. So a lot of work. They are not just the they are not just the regulators, they're also the operators for our own lines. Of course, for the red line, there's an oversight function that the NRC has over Lamata as regards the rail usage. Also, it's nice to also mention that there's this thinking time with NRC, because there cannot be a case of conflict at any time. So there's a thinking time and a timetable being agreed with NRC for the usage of those tracks, so that there's no conflict, like I said. To minimize human intervention as regards the payment system, I mentioned earlier that we use the carry card. The carry card is our own payment structure, which of course you don't pay cash to get on our trains. You use your carry card, you tap, and you get onto those trains. The carry card is one that enables you to use our trains, our buses, and our ferries. All you need to do is preload your card and then get onto the station, tap, and you get in. Why we adopted that is for, of course, the obvious reasons, to reduce human intervention, where people will now start putting the cash into their pockets, and then we don't get to get those monies in the right coffers. But the payment scheme that we use, the carry card, has totally taken care of that effect. Also, in the space of interaction of vehicular movements and these trains, the Lagos State government, we've actually done 4 overpasses. These are bridges built where there's an interaction.
No, Honorable Commissioner, I don't want to do your job for you, but I think the overpasses are 10. That's what I read.
There are 10, but Lagos State has the right to build 5, and we've done now 5.
Oh, okay.
Federal government should do the balance. We've done 2. We're having conversations on them completing 3. Okay. But the 5 that we agreed, that was part of the agreement to be done, has been done by us.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So those overpasses are to, of course, take away the interaction between vehicular movement and the train. That does 2 things. One, it of course helps our traffic management and also safety, because nobody wants any situation of any accident or whatsoever. Those are the reassurances we need to give our people, and we've invested so much in those infrastructure to ensure the free flow of these trains. I guess those were the questions I was able to pick.
Yeah, okay. I mean, basically, I think you've covered the field, as we say. But do we have other people still calling in who have other things they want to raise? Okay. We don't have anybody calling in there this way at this moment, but Honorable Commissioner, I would like to ask you, when will the platforms start running? How early, how soon can the people of Lagos State and Ogun State from Agbado, how soon will they begin to enjoy the services on the red line?
Thank you, Mr. Abati. Expectedly, I'll say between 2 to 3 months. And why so? Because we still need to, of course, do pilot runs to ensure that whatever teething problems that might come up and whatever issues that we might need to deal with, and also the syncing of the time slots with NRC is effectively and efficiently done before we start putting commuters on those trains. If you remember, for the Blue Line, it took we did the same, but it took quite a while before that was put in place, because of our first project. But because of the experience and what we have learned on the Blue Line, we expect that, give or take, in 2 months, we should be done with all of the pilotrons, and then we can safely say, put our people on those trains for commuting.
And when you put people on those trains in 2 months' time, I hope Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said directive that there will be a 25% discount will still be in place. Because
yes.
The governor said 25% discount. Okay.
Whatever the subsidy or rebate Mr. Governor gives is what that would apply on that train. I can tell you that for free.
Okay, I think we have a caller now before we begin to wrap up the program. Hello?
Yeah, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
It is cool. I know the Mumbai rail line, Paris, Chicago.
Who's on the line?
This is Dr. Moses.
Dr. Moses.
So, why do they always indicate? What is the colors? What do they indicate? Is it by virtue of distance, or they're just fanciful? I'm just being color silly. You have red line, purple line, yellow line, green line, and the like. So why do they don't name them? So is it because of the distance, the cover, or because of just whatever? So I'm just curious. So can I know, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Moses from Isolo. Well, Honorable Commissioner, you heard him. He says, can you explain to the people of Lagos State the choice of colors? Why red? Why blue? Why green? Why purple?
Well, those colors are... Well, for the 6 lines that were adopted, there were some things that were, they're just color codes ascribed to those.
Okay, just color codes, not
lines to be able to identify. There's no peculiarity or there's nothing special about those. They're just codes to be able to identify with. Like when you travel abroad, you see bus 33, you see rail line this. It can be called anything. They're just to identify with those trains. Nothing, no.
Okay.
No particular reasons for those colors.
Okay. I thought I saw someone still calling on the dashboard before we wrap this up. But if that call doesn't come through, Commissioner Shehu Oshiyemi, Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State, tell us briefly, because we need to wrap up the program now, how far Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been able to go with the T in the team's agenda. T, transportation, is his first theme in the transportation, in the team's agenda. Just briefly. Hello? Honorable Commissioner, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back now.
Yeah, just very briefly. You heard me. I said what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been able to achieve with the T in the team's agenda, with which he signed a contract with the people of Lagos State.
Say that again. You were breaking up for a minute. I didn't get you.
I was saying, we're trying to wrap up. If you could just tell us what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been able to achieve with the T, which means transportation, in the team's agenda, with which he signed a social contract with the people of Lagos State. And then we can close on that note. Just tell us about the multimodal transportation model.
Hello, yes. Mr. Reuben, thank you very much. The T in the team's agenda speaks to traffic management and transportation. So Lagos State is, of course, operates the multimodal transportation, which means we run land, water, and of course the rail system. The whole idea is to, amongst those three, such that we'll be able to have an efficient plan is one, that you're able to use the rail, it's called where we integrate the rail to the water and of course to the buses. So if you leave your house today, you really don't have to take your car. You can get on our bus and then up on the train and get to your destination. You can get on the train and use our ferries and also get on. The whole idea is the intermodality and the multi-purpose transport system that we've brought to play.
Thank you very much.
Leave a small place, but we must create different in which we need to move. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Lagos we have over 20 to 24 million people. Hello?
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Now, we need to be able to create transport options for people, because that's the only way we can decongest the road. We cannot afford, and we cannot even afford to put all of those people on the road. So we must create the rail system whereby, of course, with the red line that will move about 1 million people, the blue line that, from data, we have moved about 584,000 people from September to January on the blue line. Now the ferries are there. We're launching more ferries to move people on water. We also have our BRT buses, the high-capacity buses that will move people. The whole idea is to move people in high capacity in Lagos so that we can reduce the congestion on our roads. That's the whole idea. And I think Mr. Governor has done a very great job at that. And we have invested so much in all of these transport modes to be able to give our Lagosians and our beautiful and wonderful people a very, very easy way of life.
Well, on that note, I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, Commissioner for Transportation, Lagos State, for taking time out to join us on this program. And I also like to thank our callers and those who reach out to us on Zoom and Facebook. Remember, the conversation does not end here. You can reach out to me, Reuben Abati, on my social media account at Abati1990, and also on Instagram and at City1051 on all social media platforms. For those of you who tuned in late, there's no need to worry. You can visit YouTube page City1051 to watch the entire show. And don't forget, when you do so, to hit the subscribe button and leave comments. And don't forget also to tune in next week at 12 noon for another exciting edition of City Talks. My name is Reuben Abati. The show was produced by Charles Flames, Oluwaseun Adetitun, Ayodamola Oludara, Oluwatobiloba Samson, and Abiodun Odunton. The executive producer is Adedoja Allen. Have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us on this edition of City Talks with Reuben Abati. Bye for now.
Most of the contracts in NLD are given out to members of National Assembly, but you don't know about it. It's okay.